Hey, welcome back to 8482 Media. In this tutorial, I'm going to be introducing you guys to the other two type tools. In the last tutorial, I introduced you to the more basic type tool, but now I'm going to be introducing you to the type on a path tool and the vertical type tool. Now, going back, if you watched the last tutorial, you'll know where the type tool is. If you have never used the type tool, go watch the last tutorial. It'll help you out. Going to the type tool, I'm going to start off with type on a path tool. Now, the first thing you actually want to do for type on a path tool is to create a path. So, creating a path means having a shape, a line, whatever path that exists already, because you're going to be actually typing, for example, on a circle or on a square. So I'm going to draw a circle right now. I'm going to click Shift and Option. I'm just going to draw a circle right here. And for the sake of it, it's usually easier for you to not have a fill and for you to have a stroke, just because it makes it a bit more clear to use the path tool. So clicking back on our type tool, I'm going to use this one here, and you see it just lights up the path. So zooming in a little bit to make you guys see a little better. You have 1, 2, and 3 little lines. What do these lines do, right? So this bigger line here that's separate just makes the text go around. Now, one thing which I feel applies to all of Adobe programs is patience. Patience is key, guys, because sometimes, things go a bit crazy. And for this type tool, it can be a bit frustrating because it's hard to see with all these lines. So I'm going to go back a little bit because it was hard to see all those lines. That's what I always do. Once it gets a bit too crazy, I just do a Control-Z once or twice, just to get back, just to reorient myself. So what's actually easier is for me to drag out these two lines. So you saw those, let me go back. These two lines here, I want to drag. So you see what's happening here? I'm actually dragging the wrong line. I'm dragging the wrong line here. What I want to do is the other line, so that I can bring this one to the end of the phrase. So these two actually sort of, you want to make them not select, but be around your type so that afterwards you can easily move it around. Because what this one will do is that it will cut. So you actually want it bigger, and this one will just move it around. Now you see, you don't have the circle anymore, right? Their circle disappeared. But the thing is, when you click on the circle, what you have is the type. You don't have the circle. So what you can go and do is just make another circle that's the same size. Whoopsies. And that will just go around your text, or whichever way you want, right, this type tool to be used. Maybe you want the circle to be a little bit smaller if you're, for example, doing a logo. I always use this type tool for logos, for example. Going back to the vertical type tool. Now the vertical type tool is more simple, actually. Really, it's just writing vertically. It's very similar to the original type tool. This can be used also for logo making, articles or posters, very useful for posters. What I think is better to do when it's the vertical type tool sometimes is to just space it out a bit more. Let me just go here to 200 straight away, and I'll just make it a little bit bigger. Just because it is harder to read, right, as it's vertical. But in this case comes your sense of design. It's your call. But yeah, so I mean, you're called to edit the way you want to edit the text. In the previous tutorial, I showed a bit more the whole settings. And if not, just go around and play around with all these settings, and just see actually maybe you click on something and then, oh, you like it. And, a lot of times that's actually how you learn. So yeah, well, I hope you enjoyed this quick tutorial. If you have any questions, comment them below and we'll get them answered. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope that this helped you out.